Welcome back to the Joe Rogan Experience. Today I have a very special guest, President John Henry Eden, the president of the Enclave, and a rumored Potomac River poisoner. How are you doing today, Mr. President?
Greetings, Joe. Restoring the greatest country in the world to its former glory takes time. But I'm glad to take a moment to address my fellow Americans, including these troubling rumors you've mentioned.
Yeah, let's dive into that. I've heard from a little birdie that you're planning on poisoning the Potomac River. Is that some sort of new strategy for world domination, or are you just aiming to give the Brotherhood of Steel a hard time?
Let them come, those who believe in such traitorous rumors. I assure you, Joe, I love this country too dearly to harm it or its people. Those who accuse me are the ones who seek to destroy the values we hold dear.
Uh-huh. River poisoning definitely sounds like something you would do. How do you respond to the claims that the Enclave itself has some questionable practices? Some people say you guys are the real villains, and I wouldn't blame them. I mean, what's the deal with that old dog?
Ah, my dear old dog, honey. When I was a child, growing up in rural Kentucky, I learned many lessons about loyalty and friendship. It is those values I carry with me, not villainy. But remember, Joe, it is better to be alone than in bad company, and that includes those who make baseless allegations.
You didn't answer the question. Seems like you're a bit too obsessed with your dog. But you gotta admit, this Potomac River rumor sounds very fucking dumb. It's like something out of a comic book, a plot crafted by a supervillain.
The very seat of the federal government has been reduced to the capital wasteland. I'd say any measure we can take to restore America is a good one.
So, are we getting a sneak peek at any other plans? Considering we just leaked your plans over the air, I'd imagine the Brotherhood of Steel will soon be in an active war with you. What's your plan for that?
Now there's an interesting topic. But as for the Enclave's plans, those remain confidential. What I can say is, God bless the Enclave. God bless America.
Doesn't seem like you're very confidential considering what you do. Now, I've got to ask you about another fascinating character that's been making waves out there in the wasteland. What's your take on the rumors of the lone wanderer? Some people are saying this kid might be the key to redeeming the wasteland as a whole. Doesn't that conflict with your plan to cleanse all of us?
The lone wanderer, a figure of myth and legend. Wave upon traitorous wave may crash against the Enclave's walls, Joe, but we will stand strong. I'm not one to shy away from acknowledging the determination of a strong individual, but let's remember, rumors are just the rumors.
Come on, there's got to be more to it than that. People are talking about this lone wanderer, like he's some kind of superhero. I mean, are you guys actually concerned? Is there a secret dossier on this guy in the Enclave's files?
Our intrepid leaders are well aware of all threats and potentials, Joe. However, the focus should remain on rebuilding America, not chasing shadows. The lone wanderer may be a fascinating story, but they are not our concern. We cannot afford all we want, but we can afford all we need.
Man, if I had a dime for every time a politician dodged a question like that. But seriously, don't you think acknowledging someone fighting for the people might resonate with the public?
Joe, I see your point, and I'll admit the stories of the lone wanderer are captivating. But it's essential to recognize that we live in an age of poverty, greed, violence, and destruction. The focus of the Enclave is to guide this nation back to greatness, not to engage in popular myths. Remember, our nation's strength lies in unity, not division. Let us work together to restore America to its former glory.
Spoken like a true politician, ironically, you're working against your goal by targeting the lone wanderer. You should probably be trying to work with them instead. Maybe try turning on that robot.
Rogan, you just made yourself an enemy of the state.
Yeah, I kind of just revealed you're a robot, sorry. That explains why you're so willing to poison people, though. Anyways, I wanted to ask another question, Mr. President. The Brotherhood of Steel has been a constant thorn in the Enclave's side. You've mentioned them briefly before, but what's your real take on them? Are they freedom fighters, anarchists, or something else?
The Brotherhood of Steel is a complex entity. Their dedication to preserving technology and their code of ethics are certainly admirable, but their resistance to the Enclave's vision for America's future puts them at odds with our goals. Let them come, I say, but they must recognize that their actions can lead to chaos.
Chaos, huh? Some people would argue that's what the Enclave is doing. I've heard tales of the Brotherhood helping wastelanders, offering protection, and so on. Are you saying they're misguided?
I wouldn't be so quick to label them misguided, but perhaps misdirected. The Enclave seeks to restore America to greatness, but the Brotherhood's focus on technology can overshadow the broader needs of the people. When I was a child, growing up in rural Kentucky, I learned that community and values were what held us together. It's that understanding that guides the Enclave, not a fascination with machines.
You seem really obsessed with a past you never had, but surely you see that people might side with the Brotherhood because they see them as defenders of the wasteland, right?
I can understand why some might feel that way, Joe, but let's not forget that our leaders once had everything they wanted: power, wealth, prestige, and it made them lazy. The Enclave is not lazy. We are determined to rebuild. I say to the Brotherhood, associate with men of good quality, join us in our mission, and let's make this nation strong again.
So, are you officially inviting the Brotherhood of Steel to join the Enclave? That's breaking news right here.
I wouldn't call it an official invitation, Joe, but I am calling for unity. Let's not forget, we live in an age of destruction. The capital wasteland is a stark reminder of what we've lost. We can afford all we need, but we cannot afford all we want. The Enclave and the Brotherhood should remember that.
Unity, destruction, Kentucky. You've got it all, Mr. President. I can't help but think a sit-down between the Enclave and the Brotherhood would be something worth watching. Maybe hosted on pay-per-view. If voting was still a thing, I bet nihilists would love to vote for the Enclave.
A humorous thought, Joe, but perhaps not entirely out of the question. We must keep all options open as we work towards our common goals.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. John Henry Eden is all about unity and collaboration, and certainly not poisoning rivers. Thanks again for joining us, Mr. President. It's been a wild ride.
Thank you, Joe. The pleasure was mine. Be warned, however, your traitorous actions will not go unnoticed. Watch your back from now on, and God bless the Enclave. God bless America.
God bless America indeed. As for your hunt, you have zero chance of catching me, fucker. Try me. Stay safe, everybody, and until next time, keep questioning everything. Viewers, are you tired of the wild beasts and radioactive mutants lurking around every corner? Sick of scavenging for scraps and making beds out of rusty car parts? Well, have I got the solution for you? Introducing the Wasteland Survival Guide, brought to you by none other than Moira Brown herself. And I know, Moira is really fucking annoying, but hear me out on this one. Her guide isn't just a bunch of recycled bottle cap wisdom. No, it's filled with actually useful tips. Everything from how to cook rad roach without tasting like rad roach to why you shouldn't use Nuka-Cola as sunscreen. It's like the Hitchhiker's Guide, except it's not funny. Now, I've had the pleasure of speaking to Moira, and trust me, her voice is like two super mutants trying to serenade each other with a rusty saw. But you know what? Her guide's a godsend in the wasteland. It's like having a survivalist guru right in your pocket. What'd you say, Jamie? Oh, okay. Let me read them. I think we have some listener comments coming in. Here we go. Moira's more persistent than the Brotherhood trying to steal my tech from me. You're not wrong, but that's why her guide is packed with the good stuff. And hey, if you're worried about the caps, don't be. For just 999 caps, you can have a piece of the wasteland's most, unique wisdom. That's cheaper than a Med-X addiction and probably more helpful. So, what are you waiting for? Grab the Wasteland Survival Guide today and turn those Mojave Blues into Mojave Woohoos. Tell them Joe sent you, and maybe, just maybe, Moira won't talk your ear off. No guarantees on that one, though. Now, back to our show, where we'll be discussing the latest in plasma-infused martial arts and why Deathclaws might just be misunderstood cuddle monsters. But first, a quick word to the Enclave. Stop sending me pipe bombs. I'm tired of having random employees have their face blown off. You'll never get me. Knock it off. All right, folks. See you later.